Hello and welcome to Liz and Scotty's Poddy. I am Scotty. Liz is not here, and we'll get to that in just a moment because for the next few weeks, these podcasts are going to focus in on our friend Elizabeth, who, as of this recording, about a week and a half ago, had a beautiful and healthy baby girl named Evelyn Renee. And so we are just taking a little time while Liz is on maternity to call and talk to her about what she's going through, what she's doing, what she's learning, and those sorts of things. And just give you, the listeners of Clear 99 radio station, a chance to see what Liz is up to because you guys love her so much, and it is so obvious that you do. And we just want to make sure you can kind of hear what's going on with her. So thank you so much for taking the time to find it. Let's just get right to it. Again, about a week and a half ago, Liz had the baby, so we're just doing a little catching up.
I am here, Scotty.
There she is. Have missed that voice.
Oh, I've missed yours.
Miss your face even more, but
Same.
but that's okay. How are you?
I'm good. We're, a week and a half in? So far, so good.
Yeah, I thought I saw a week birthday post or something like that. Didn't I? She was just smiling.
I know. I got her a little milk drunk, and she was just giving me, like, the best face ever, and I captured it, and I was like, oh, my God, okay. I do not want to be that person that only shares pictures of their kid, but I had to share that one.
Well, yeah. It's to be expected. As you said, we're only a week and a half in, so.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, let's start with you. How are you doing? Are you sleeping better? That was one of my big concerns in realizing you got to get up to take care of a baby and all of that, but you were struggling to sleep when she was kicking at you for the last couple of weeks, so I was really kind of hoping you were finally getting some rest.
Oh, my God. Yes. My sleep pattern is definitely broken up because I have to wake up with her. But the sleep that I get in between is so much better than what I was getting when I was pregnant. I am sleeping in my bed because I was sleeping on the couch for the past month and a half of pregnancy.
Right.
I can be underneath the cover without getting super hot, and light does not affect me as much as it used to either. So the sleep that I am getting is amazing sleep. So I'll take it.
So who gets up in the middle of the night? Is that you or Will, or is it whoever gets to it, or you guys have a schedule? How does that work?
Oh, gosh. Right now it's me because Will went back to work yesterday. So I feel bad. I want him to get as much sleep as he possibly can.
Right.
With me being on maternity leave, I'm like, I can take it. I'll do it. And he still pops up every once in a while, and he's like, I feel so bad you're doing it. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. So I think eventually once we flip it and he goes on paternity leave and I go back to work, he'll start taking overnights more. But for right now, it's mom duty.
Okay. And you said she was sleeping like 4.5 hours. Is that still the case? Now, see, to me, that doesn't sound like much, but I guess that's good for a baby.
Yeah. No, she still is pretty good, hour-wise when it comes to the nighttime, which we're really thankful for. She started having this weird pattern where I would feed her around 10 o'clock, and then she'd wake up at 11 and be hungry for an hour and a half. But then she'd go to sleep, and we wouldn't hear anything from her for 6 hours. So I'm like, I guess that's good. Last night, I think I jinxed myself a little bit, and she woke up every 2.5 hours. So I'll take what I can get. I think every single night's a little bit different.
Right. So what else? Is there anything you've learned that you feel like sharing here in the last week and a half? Stuff, something maybe you weren't aware of or not ready for?
I think just for me personally, I've had to let go of the idea of not having, I guess, a super clean clothes on her every single time. When she first spit up on her onesie, it was the littlest spit up ever, and I changed her, and then it happened again and again and again. And I'm like, I can't be going through 10 pairs of clothes. I'm going to have to decipher between what's like an adequate amount of spit up in order to change her. Right. So I think that for me has been a life lesson. And then just again, for me personally, I used to be super OCD about like my bed. Like we've talked about this before. If I got out of my bed and I sat on something other than my bed, I would change clothes and get back into bed. Well, now with night beatings and stuff, I would be changing clothes 3 or 4 to 5 different times. So then I'm like, okay, I have to get that up. I have to like get inside my covers with clothes that have touched something other than my bed. So slowly but surely, my brain is, relenting a little bit. But otherwise, I think it's just accepting that there is no schedule, which is really hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I like to plan, and I like to know like how my day is going to proceed. And as of right now, I'm sure it'll get better as she becomes not so much of a newborn, but it's just kind of on her watch, her time. She sleeps, and I can do some stuff when she's awake. I feed her, change her, make sure she's taken care of.
Right.
And it's just all kind of on Evie's schedule.
Well, and I guess you always hear that schedules are good for kids, but I mean that's kind of pointless to try to put a baby that young, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, that's what again, first time mom, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
But according to experts that I've heard, at least with newborns, there are no schedules. So just you kind of go with the flow. You don't try to sleep train right away or anything like that, just because they're so little and
right.
they need. When they're waking up, they're basically hungry. So you just kind of go with the flow. So that's been a little interesting, to say the least. But other than that, everything's been really good. She's a really good baby. So I'm very, very lucky about that. Okay.
Now, I think I just heard you call her Evie. Is it Evie or is it Evie?
That's a good question. We're calling her both.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, here's why I'm asking. Because when I came to see you the other day, and it was so wonderful to meet your mom after talking about her for 2 years.
Yeah.
But I thought I heard her say something about Evie. And so I thought to myself, oh, okay, well, I thought it was Evie. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe I've been saying it wrong. And
no,
you're going both ways.
We're going both ways, and we're going to just see whatever sticks with her whenever whenever she starts responding more to whatever. But Will likes Evie because it rhymes with more things. So, of course, he'll start singing to her or start rhyming to her. And Evie apparently goes better than Evie. So he does Evie, and then I kind of do both. My mom's just so confused, and she's like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Right. So I'll just go with Evie. So this poor girl already has 10 nicknames, and she's not even 2 weeks old. So we'll just see what sticks.
That's funny. All right. So what's Will been up to? Is he adjusting pretty well?
Oh, yeah. He loves dad life. I think, I don't think I've ever seen him this happy before in my entire time with him. We've been together for 10 years, and this man is just, all about her. It's really, really cute to watch. I honestly think that, I don't know. I don't want to get, mushy, but, I told him I totally have, fallen more in love with him and have so much more respect for him after seeing him with her. And when he had to go back to work yesterday, you could just see his heart breaking. And it was so sad to watch. And all he wanted to do was come home. So I was sending him all these pictures. I'm like, 3 hours left, 2 hours left. So
that's funny.
Yeah. If he could, he would be the stay-at-home dad and just never leave her side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You catching up on any TV?
God, trying to.
Okay. I
have a couple of Housewife episodes that I need to watch, but it is so funny how much longer things take with a baby.
Right.
I'm watching I don't know if we've talked about it, but I started a show. It's an older show on HBO called Ballers, and the episodes are like 30 minutes long, but it takes me like an hour and a half to get through them because I have her, I have the dogs. I'm like thinking of other things. I'm like, okay, now I understand. Now I understand why parents are always late to party.
Right.
They're like, oh, I've never seen that movie before. How is it? Well, it's because there's a child involved.
Right.
Everything takes 10 times longer with them.
Well, I am going to, on my schedule this weekend, I'm going to watch that at some point, that Shania Twain documentary. Have you had a chance to see that yet?
No, but I've seen the commercials for it, and it looks so good.
I am so excited about it. I have talked about it on the air a little bit, and I hope it's as good as I hope it is, or I don't know that it will necessarily tell the story that I want to hear, but I've talked about just what a big deal she was, that she didn't just come onto the scene. She exploded onto the scene, and the effect on country music. And you know how I kind of like that big picture stuff, I mean, the industry and how she changed things and how she did things nobody else had ever done. And she was as big as Garth Brooks for a while, which nobody thought anything like that would ever happen. And I would understand if that was not the focus of this documentary, but that's the stuff that I want to see. So I'm at least hoping there's some of that in there. So I'm going to give it a shot this weekend.
Well, I saw that she was doing an interview, and it looks like it's in the documentary about her and her choice to finally put out a ballad for the very first time. And even though she was Shania Twain when the ballad came out, she was still so worried because she was like, if that flopped, then I was done.
Right.
Like, it was going to be that quick of a switch.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to try and watch it this weekend, too, but if I don't get to it, you're going to have to let me know how it is.
Okay. And as I said, too, aside from her music career, just such an interesting life, too. Like, she raised her siblings because her mom and dad were, like, tragically killed in a car wreck or something. I mean, there's a bunch of really interesting stuff about her, even aside from the fact that she's the best-selling female artist of all time. So I hope I haven't built it up too much because I don't want to be let down by it. But yeah, I'm giving it a shot this weekend, so we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to text me your rating, and I'll go from there.
Okay. Back to the dogs for a minute. Dogs and babies still getting along fine?
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay.
Lily's still a little bit unsure about her. She sniffs her and then kind of backs away. Dasher, we call him the Bubba babysitter because he's like right there if she makes a little peep, and he wants to just kiss her feet at all times. But yeah, we could not have asked so far for a better transition. It could be a lot worse. Yeah. So we are taking it as it comes.
Let me ask you this. Were you at all surprised, and they're your dogs, so you know them better. I was surprised that Dasher didn't freak out about me being there any more than he did the other day. Was that a surprise to you?
Yeah, we're still talking about that.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you. Because he does not like men in general. We assume because a man hurt him before we got to him.
Right.
And he's automatically protective over us whenever a man comes into our house. But the fact that you had Evie, whatever we're going to call her, and you were holding her, and then he came in, he sniffed you out, and he was just like cool with it. We're like, all right.
Yeah.
Buddy.
I was expecting him to get a little hot at me, and he didn't, and then he let me pet him, and I think we're probably good now, aren't we? Because, I mean, I loved on him a little bit, and I'm just thinking from now on we should be good.
I think so, too.
Okay.
Hopefully. Maybe we'll have to tire him out a little bit again, just so he comes in and he's not, like, super bundle of energy. But, yeah, right. I think you passed the Dasher test, which is hard to pass.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, anything else from the last week or so that you feel like you want to share? Or?
Again, I think this is cliche, but time it has like flown by. I still can't believe we're already a week and a half in, and every single day. I heard the days are long, but the years are short.
Right.
The days as of right now are just super short. Like, I cannot believe that they just go by as quick as they do. And I don't know if that's just because I don't have a schedule or what, but I'm like, I blink and it's already 6 p.m. in the evening. And I'm like, where did the day go?
Right.
So, but no, it's good. Motherhood is definitely something that I never saw for myself at this moment in my life, but I'm so grateful for it.
Okay. Well, we get calls and texts every day, everybody wondering about how you're doing, that sort of thing. And of course, the people in the building are just all over me about when's she coming in? When's she bringing her in? Here's a funny one for you. Our boss Carla. I was talking to her the other day, and she said the day that I was over at your house on Sunday, so we took the picture, and then I posted it on Monday, right?
Yeah.
It must have been either that day or the next day. Carla was back in her office, and all of a sudden she started hearing all the oohing and ahhing, and she was in the middle of like a Zoom conference call, like an important one, and she was so mad because she was so scared that she was missing you and missing the baby. Well, she said, luckily, something happened with her Zoom call. I don't know. She may have reached up and done it herself. I don't know. But she said something happened, and so before she tried to get back on, she went rushing out into the office thinking that you and the baby were out there. Turns out it was everybody just doing it on over the pictures that I got to share. So
oh my gosh, that's so cute.
She was happy that she hadn't missed her, but a lot of people just, and you take your time. Nobody wants you to hurry, but whenever you feel like showing her off, just know there's a lot of people who are ready to see her.
Oh, I can't wait to show her off. I'm excited. But yes, it will happen sooner rather than later.
All right. Well, call me if you need something. Tell William I said hello.
Okay.
Is mom still here for a few more days?
Yeah, Mom's still here.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea when she's leaving.
Okay.
So I'll take her help as it comes, that's for sure.
All right. Well, miss you like crazy. Come back when you can.
Miss you, and I'll be there sooner rather than later, promise.
I do miss her very much. There is no question that it is not the same when she's not here in the room with us. But luckily, I know her phone number, so I get to call her and text her a couple of times each week. But she'll be back before you know it. Thanks so much for finding this podcast again. This is what we're going to do for the next few weeks, is just kind of focus in on Liz and her learning how to be a new mama. So join us again in another week or so, and we'll have some more information for you. We're just glad that you searched out this podcast, however you have accessed it, whether it's at clear99.com. Just remember, if you listen to other podcasts, you can probably find this one there too, whether it's Google or Spotify or Apple. You got to search for Clear 99 On Demand. It's not listed under Liz and Scotty's Poddy. Clear 99 On Demand, and then there's some other stuff the station has on there as well, but that's how you can find Liz and Scotty's Poddy that way. However you found it, we're just glad you found it. And thanks so much for listening to Liz and Scotty's Poddy and today's best country, Clear 99.
It's a Clear Country Morning.
Had a lot of great texts, calls, and comments about this study that says young Americans are not moving far from home.
Well, of the 4 kids that I have, the one that I thought would move the furthest actually didn't.
Okay.
You know, I don't understand why, because he was the one that I really thought would probably end up in another state halfway across the country.
Right.
And he's not. He's the one that's the closest, and I just can't analyze it.
I am living in the house right next door to the house I grew up in.
So you're bringing the average way down.
Wait, about as close as you can get.
Right.
It's a Clear Country Morning. Clear 99.